we had kind of locked in our minds, if we ever had e-bikes, then instead of a chairlift to the top of the bike park, we instead have a e-bike that's going to, shuttle you to the top of the jump line. And so that was very much in mind. That's why we chose Skyline. And the section at Mount Penn of Skyline that we chose has a series of 5 jumps that are bike park size and quality jumps. And some of them get pretty big. And there's a return trail right next to it. And so we could session those 5 jumps and then take the return trail. And we've sessioned these jumps before on our analog bikes. How many laps do you think we would get on an analog bike before we would get tired and move on?
Probably like 10, maybe, max.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe, max.
Yeah, maybe.
How many do you think we did on the e-bike?
Like 60. Like it was, I lost count. It was so.
I was going to say 45, but yeah, it might have been.
It was so easy. I like literally felt nothing. We would finish the line, high five, and right back up in 20 seconds. It was unbelievable.
Didn't even pause at the top because there's no heavy breathing from having to do this small climb, but still a climb. Didn't have to worry about getting into a different gear or anything like that. I mean, at first I was doing eco mode, and then on day 2, I just put it in trail mode, and I left it in trail mode because it didn't matter. Once I started pedaling and got into the downhill, then the weight of the bike took over and the jump line took over, and you didn't need to pedal anymore. And then you could just pedal right back up and just go. The only reason you would stop was to get a drink of water or just to like kind of collect yourself. But it was just lap after lap after lap after lap. And tell us what happened day 2 of the e-bike at Mount Penn on Skyline Trail.
Danny, I was wondering when you were going to get to this. It was like you're burying the lead. This is the lead, baby. I cleared every jump on Skyline, which has never happened. I've never gotten past number 1. It was unbelievable.
It was like epic. Listeners, it was epic. This dude could not clear the second jump to save his life. He was pulling up with his pedals on the first jump, which is like the intro to mountain biking tabletop jump. And and within like 15 minutes, you had cleared the first 2.
Yeah.
And you clear number 3, which is on a little bit of a curve. It's very rampy. It's got a little bit of a curve in it. So that's the one that trips everybody up. Anytime I struggle with those jumps, it's always number 3. I get 1 and 2, and then I get scared on 3.
Yeah.
But you totally unlocked it that day, and you were flying. I mean, and just lap after lap after lap. What was happening in your head? What was happening? What unlocked it? What to explain this amazing phenomenon?
First of all, massive kudos to Chris. That's Shelly's son. He saw that I was struggling on number 3. And the reason why number 3 is so difficult is, first of all, it's way steeper than the first 2. It's short, but it's on a turn. And so visually, it gets really like, it just starts to mess with your head. And I'm struggling. He's watching me case this thing time after time. And I'm like, Chris, what's the secret? And he's like, just hit it straight. Pretend it's not turning and just hit it straight. And I was like, what? I was like, but aren't you going to land like all weird? Because the backside is definitely like off camber to the right. And he's like, no, just hit it straight as if it was a straight on jump. And that was it. I just let it fly. And once I cleared it, that was it. That unlocked the rest of the jumps. The rest of the day was just high fives and smiles. And I got to tell you, like, total trail angel. And I now know why you and Stick enjoy jumping so much, because my cheeks hurt. I was smiling so much. Yeah.
It's so much fun. And by the next day, everyone, he was throwing in bar turns. He's like, oh, now I need something to do while I'm up here in the air. I mean, just last week I was joking about you having dinner on the top of tabletops because you cased them so much. You spent so much time on the top of those tabletops that they were like, you're not actually supposed to eat on these. These aren't real tables. And then here you are, you're sailing over them. I was behind you and your speed was perfect. Your form looked great. And just seeing you pop off those jumps and hit the landing and go back and just the smile on your face, like, I was totally confident riding behind you. It wasn't like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. This is the wrong speed. He's going to mess me up. Like, no, you were awesome. And so just to see this happen, it was just so cool that this all came together. The e-bikes, Chris being there, us having access to an awesome place like Mount Penn, and thank you to everyone that maintains those trails and works on those trails. But it all came together, and your manifestation, your visualization of clearing jumps, it happened. Like you know how to jump now.
Yeah.
And I just want us to marinate in the success and the progression and the victory of Trail Sage jumping his mountain bike.
I'm a jumper. Yeah. I'm a jumper. Yeah.
I mean, come on. This is awesome. I love it so much.
You know what? Just to kind of bring this back to the e-bikes, being able to session Skyline, it's literally 5 jumps right in a row. So being able to immediately correct any kind of mistake or, oh man, I just want to send this a little bit far, a little less brake, you can immediately apply that. That was absolutely clutch. That doesn't happen without an e-bike.
To be able to practice the same 5 jumps. So, okay, this jump, I know I don't need to squeeze the brake. This one, I'm going to feather a little bit. This one, I'm just going to send it. This one, I feather, and this one, I send. You start to learn these, okay, this is, and then your confidence just really starts to increase. And we talk about this so much, is just that practice of being able to do something like this, to be able to practice jumping over and over and over. What else about the e-bike made you confident?